Okay, friends, what is sinker mahogany? Well, mahogany is self-explanatory, but sinker mahogany comes specifically from Belize. Somewhere around 100, 150 years ago, the British were there logging, and they were cutting down old growth mahogany trees, and as part of that process they would roll them into the nearby river. They would sort of barge them downstream till they got to the mill. They'd chop them up, then they'd put them on their boat, send them back to Europe, and make fancy furniture out of them. As many as a third of those logs, though, were so dense that they sank in the river. There is wood that is too dense to float, and some of those, especially at the base of trees where there's a higher water content, they'll sink, and or they just get sort of smashed down by other logs and sort of pinned down there. But anyway, these logs, wood was so plentiful at the time, they just left them there. It wasn't worth trying to drag them out of the mud and the muck, and they sat there for 150 years or so. In recent times, in the last decades, there's been a couple people that have gone in, worked with the government of Belize, and gotten the permits to responsibly take these beautiful old growth logs out of the rivers and turn them into guitars and fine furniture and stuff. It works out well for the local communities. It's done environmentally in an environmentally sound way. And frankly, it makes some of those rivers more navigable than they would before when they had the big old logs sitting at the bottom of them. Here's a piece of sinker mahogany. You can see some of that color in there, they say, is a result of the wood sort of soaking up minerals from the river. I don't know about all that, but I do know that I fell in love with this wood. My own personal history with it is that I got on eBay from a vendor that I trust. I got some bits, some scraps, frankly. They were rejected by a major guitar manufacturer that rhymes with, well, it's Martin. I was going to say something clever, but they got rejected from the Martin factory. Anyway, I got my hands on the wood, and there was a lot that was funky. You can see this piece has a knot hole in it. It's got side chunks out of here, but making the guitars the way that I do, I'm able to work with some of that stuff and make it work. And to be honest, I was skeptical. I don't usually buy into the hocus pocus of sort of celebrity woods and all that, but man, the first guitar I made, I was like, this is really good. It has that warmth, low-end richness to it that I just fell in love with. And so I made another guitar out of the same wood, and thinking maybe I was a fluke, maybe I just I had the mojo for that guitar. But every guitar, every instrument that I've made since with the sinker mahogany has had some sort of magic to it. So I promptly went out and I bought all the bits and pieces that my eBay friend had available, and I've been making guitars with it. I've got more wood, and I will continue to make guitars with it. One side note about mahogany: mahogany is a great wood for instruments. I don't use it generally outside of sinker mahogany because mostly it comes from countries that don't have a great environmental record for environmental stewardship, and a lot of the mahogany has been decimated around the world and done so in a way that's super harmful to the environment. And so as a result, I don't work with mahogany very much, but man, I will do everything I can to get my hands on more of this sinker mahogany. I like it because it, the sins of our fathers cutting down these beautiful trees happened a long time ago, and we can sort of clean up after them and make use of some of this beautiful wood. This is a sinker mahogany guitar I made. I believe this one is either the first or the second one that I made, and man, I just love the tone. There it is, friends. That's my take on sinker mahogany. I've got a bunch of instruments made with it, and I'll be making more.